train station. Now this is the only point in London where we have a train railway station above us and the underground running parallel underneath, so we are entering a train sandwich. I guess you could call it a subway. Along the bridge! Now on the right hand side you'll see our South Bank Centre and the Royal Festival Hall. The Royal Festival Hall is the only surviving building from the Festival of Britain, which was held after World War II when Brits were described as being quite depressed. Inside it is now home for the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, and attached to it we have the Queen Elizabeth Hall, the Purcell Room, the Hayward Gallery, and underneath all of that is the Undercroft, which is the very first skate park in the UK. But now we'll come up to my favourite bridge in London. We'll come up to Waterloo Bridge. It's also been nicknamed the Ladies' Bridge. That's because when all the brave men were off fighting in World War II, the women were tasked to complete this bridge, which was not an easy feat as it kept being damaged in the Blitz. I would like to point out though, in all the bridges here in London, this was the only bridge completed on time and under budget. Are we surprised? No, we're not. It's also the longest bridge in London and it's made out of self-cleaning stone. So well done women, you did a fantastic job with this one. Now on the right hand side you'll see an ugly looking building with electronic screen. It's okay to call it ugly because it's a perfect example of the brutalist architect style. That is our National Theatre. Inside the 3 stages, the largest being the Olivier stage, which is named after its very first artistic director, Laurence Olivier. Now if you're a theatre fan like myself, I highly recommend the National Theatre, as a lot of their shows get transferred over to the West End. So if you'd like to see a West End quality show, but not pay West End prices, do give the National Theatre a visit. Also coming up on the right hand side you'll see that River Thames has its own little beach. That's right, little Stanley inlet over there is Ernie's Beach. Ernie was a man who spent 50 years working for charity, also Coin Street Charity, which establishes affordable housing for those in London. Because of his hard work, they dedicated this little inlet to him, and nice sunny days, Londoners will flock to that beach to build sandcastles and have a little drink. Now if you do take any photos of it, please be careful. They come out a little bit grainy. Told you, do not get any better. Now that red building next to it, the tower, for those familiar with British Stock Cube Engraving Company OXO, that is where they were first based. Now you might think it says OXO on that tower, but technically it doesn't say anything. River Thames is a royal highway, which means any kind of advertisement is illegal. So when that tower was built, they were rightfully taken to court, but they hired a very clever lawyer who turned to a judge and said, Your Honour, that doesn't say OXO on that tower. My client ordered geometric shape windows. They just so happen to come in noughts and crosses. They put them up in a random order that looked good, and it just so happened to spell the company's name. Do we believe them? No, we don't. But guess what? The judge did, and they're allowed to keep it. Now they've long moved out. It's been converted into affordable housing for those of Lambeth and Southwark. There's even a Harvey Nichols restaurant at the top. For those wondering about the Sea Containers logo next door to it, that hotel's never officially registered that as a trademark name, so they're allowed to keep it up, as technically they're not advertising anything. And behind that last building with a bump to it is the newest addition to London skyline. That is number 1 Blackfriars. Now we here in London, we love our silly nicknames of skyscrapers, and this one has quite a few. People refer to that building as the Baby Bump, the Cocktail Shaker, the Harp, my personal favourite, the Penguin, but a lot of people in London seem to call that building the Kim Kardashian. Yep, I'll let you make your own assumptions about why. Now when that building was built, its one purpose was to be affordable housing for those in London, but apartments inside start from £8 million. Welcome to affordable housing in London, everyone. Now we're coming on to Blackfriars bridges. These are 2.5 bridges. The first one being the Road Bridge, the one behind that's a train station that spans the entire Thames. So what about that half a bridge? Well, as you go on there, look out for the red columns. I'll tell you more about them. Look what we've got. Now, on top of the train station are all solar panels, so on a nice sunny day, that train station is powered by solar power. You have 364 days of the year, it's National Grid. Now on the left-hand side, you're going to see St Paul's Cathedral. St Paul's Cathedral is the second largest stone cathedral in the world, the largest being St Peter's in Vatican City. It's also the 5th version we have seen in London, as the last one was destroyed in the Great Fire of London in 1666. That time, that was the tallest building in the world. The one we see today was completed in 1711 by Sir Christopher Wren, who's a very religious man, and built it at 365 feet tall, so it's 1 foot for every day of the year you'd be worshipping. Now, there are no tall buildings around St. Paul, sorry. That's because of an ancient law that says the dome has to be spotted from 8 viewpoints around the city. Also, while skyscrapers further down Thames are all funny shapes. In fact, as we pass the City of London School, you will notice a glass section in the middle, and that's so that you can spot the dome while you're on the river. Now we're passing under Millennium Bridge. This is what beat the London Eye in the competition. It's also been nicknamed the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge, but I also say that for the return journey. Because on the right-hand side, you'll see a white building with a thatched roof. That is Shakespeare's Globe. The original was built in 1599 by William Shakespeare and his men, where it lasted until 1613, when during the performance of Henry VIII, a cannon was set off, causing the thatched roof to catch on fire. Everyone did manage to make it out, but to say all about Shakespeare, he does know how to bring the house down. It took Shakespeare 1 year to rebuild it, where it lasted until 1640s, when a parliamentary decree meant that all theatres had to shut, and it was demolished. So what about the one we see today? Well, in 1970s, American director Sam Wanamaker decided to bring it back. He used the same tools and methods that Shakespeare used to make it as authentic as possible, even getting special permission to get a thatched roof, which was made illegal because of the fire. And the one we see today was completed in 1997, roughly about 400 or 500 yards from where the original stood. Now on the right hand side, you're going to see what us Brits do best. Go to the pub for a drink. Over there's the Anchor Tavern, one of the oldest taverns here in London, over 400 years old. This is where William Shakespeare, novelist Charles Dickens, and Samuel Johnson, who wrote the first English dictionary, we've all sat there drinking. Now we're passing under Cannon Street Bridge. It's a bridge, there's not a lot to say about this, unfortunately. I think it cost a lot of money to make and took longer to build than the planned. Now, coming up on the left-hand side, behind the smallest of the buildings, you're going to see Monument, that pillar with the golden top. That's a monument to the Great Fire of London. It's said if you lay Monument down, it points to where the fire started within Lane. But it's also used as a viewing platform for the people of London to go up there and see their city being rebuilt. You can still go up there today for a small fee. Now, it does stick true to its purpose, because once you've climbed the 311 steps, you can really feel those calories burned. There is no lift, but you do get a nice little certificate once you go up there. And on the right-hand side, behind these trees, is Southwark Cathedral, one of the oldest Gothic cathedrals here in London. It's beautiful to walk around in any kind of weather. Keep an eye out because William Shakespeare's brother, Edmund Shakespeare, is buried there. And John Harvard of the Harvard Universities was christened there many years ago.
Tower of London.
But now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. That's right, a photo opportunity with a truly iconic bridge here in London. The one, the only, London Bridge, which is behind us. That's right, that bridge that we passed on no pay no attention to is London Bridge. The bridge you see ahead of you at the towers is Tower Bridge. But if you got it wrong, don't worry, a lot of people do. In fact, singer Fergie, remember her? She has a whole song dedicated to London Bridge, and she spent the entire music video twerking away on Tower Bridge. Silly Fergie. But more about that in just a moment, because the next thing on the list is a little tricky to see, so you're going to have your eyes wide open. But let me know, on the right-hand side, if you can see the 11,500 ton warship. Careful, it is in camouflage. That is the